Hey YouTube, welcome back. It's been a while since I've posted anything. I apologize, I've been pretty busy, but I want to share some cards that I have picked up either on trips to see my daughter, my middle daughter, and at University of Indiana, or in parts of Michigan as my wife and I have been driving around up there, or at my local card shop. So let's jump in and I'll show you what I've picked up. Here is a 56 Enos Slaughter Grayback, which I picked this one up at an antique store in Indiana. I think this is a beautiful card. It's well centered, or it's a little off left to right, but for 56, I think it's in great condition. It's a beautiful card. Enos Slaughter is a Hall of Famer. When I picked that card up, this was the first card that I was drawn to in the case, and that's a 64 McCovey. I think this card's well centered also, and I love McCovey. I think he's underrated. He hit the ball about as hard as anybody ever, and was a great ball player. I think he gets a little overshadowed because he played with Mays, but big McCovey fan. I met the gentleman who owned this booth, and he wanted, I think, 40 for both of them. We talked. He was a great guy, and I think he gave them to me for $30 total. So I was pretty pleased. Picked this 1960 Al Kaline card up in Michigan, and it's a beautiful card. It's really well centered, and the corners are pretty crisp. There is a little bit of a scratch or something up there in the corner, but all in all, I just think it's a beautiful card. Kaline to me is Kaline and Yastrzemski are probably two of the most underrated superstars because you think of the 60s, right? You had Clemente, Mays, Aaron, you had Mickey Mantle, you had Frank Robinson. Sometimes these guys got lost in it. This guy had 3,000 base hits. I think he won 10 gold gloves, a batting title. So big fan of his. Also picked up this 1970 Gale Sayers card, which is just a beautiful card. I do think there might be a potentially small crease up here. It's really hard to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the color on this card is beautiful. If you remember back a couple videos ago, I picked up the 70 Brian Piccolo. So now I've got Sayers and Piccolo, the Brian song tandem, and I love this card. So I was pretty happy to get that one. I also picked up this 1969 Roberto Clemente. I may have overpaid a little for this, but this is one of the cards of the Clementes that I didn't have a decent version of. So I picked this up. It's pretty well centered. Top to bottom are a little off, but left to right, it's pretty well centered. Back's got a little wear in the corners, but it's a pretty nice mid-grade Clemente 69. I love the picture. And this is one I didn't have in decent shape. I had one that was beat up, but wasn't in great shape. So then my next cards are both 70 and 71 sets. The first one I picked up at one of my local card stores is this Carl Yastrzemski 1970. It's a nice card. It's a little off left to right, and the corners are a little nicked, but the picture itself is beautiful. And like I said with Kaline, I think Yastrzemski was an underrated ball player. He came in after Ted Williams, right? So and then there were all the other superstars, but he was a really good ball player, great fielder. I think he won 6 or 7 gold gloves and a great hitter. So I was happy to pick this one up. I also picked up this 70 Roberto Clemente, really cheap. It's not the nicest card. I mean, centering's a little off and the corners are beat. I had a really beat up version of this from when I was a kid. Something about this card I've always loved, and I need it to kind of help with some of my Clemente runs. So I did pick this up. Picked it up. It was inexpensive, so I was happy to grab this one and add it to my collection. And then I picked the same card up. So tell me if you do this, right? I picked up this Reggie Jackson, and then I picked it up again. And this is the third time I've bought this card in 6 months. Like, do you? I gravitate to certain cards, and if they're in good shape, I pick them up. I bought this one first, and it was in pretty good shape. I saw this one a little later. I believe it's the better of the two, and it was cheaper. So, and I have a third one. So I'm trying to debate what I'll do. Like, do you keep them all? Do you sell one and reinvest it in other cards? I'll probably get this one graded, see what it comes back, and if I like the grade, then I'll think about what I'm going to do with the other two. And the last cards are, if you've seen any of my videos, I love the 71 set. So I picked up a few of these cards. In Michigan, I picked this one up, and just like the 70 Jackson, I've picked this card up twice in the last couple years, or a couple months, I'm sorry. I think this card here is the better of the two. It's a beautiful card. It's pretty well centered. Doesn't have a whole lot of nicking, so I'm really excited to grab this card as I'm trying to make a run on the 71 Hall of Famers. And then I picked up this Steve Carlton. I think the last one I had was way off center. I will probably look to sell that one or give it away. But this one here is a lot better centered, and it was rarely inexpensive, and it doesn't have too much chipping on it. So I thought it was a good card for lefty. Last two I picked up a Thurman Munson. So this is the second Thurman that I've picked up. I picked one up at the National earlier in the year, about the same grade as this, right? In pretty good shape, a little bit of corner wear, but the centering's pretty good. This card's a really hard card to find, as everybody knows, in top shape, but I'm pretty happy with this. At some point, I'll get this one graded or the other one of the two. And then I'll figure out what I do with the second one from there. And then the final card is I saw this Ted Simmons. I'm sorry, I couldn't pass on it. So I had just bought one probably about 3 months ago. It was in a video of mine a couple back. This one's much better centered. Little bit of corner wear, but not a ton. I overpaid probably for this card, but I just thought it was in really, really good shape. This is probably the one I'll keep and submit, but I just, I love the 71 set, and I'm trying to collect as many of them as I can. I'd like to be in at least 5 to 6 or higher grades. So anyway, that is all I have to share this video, but let me know if you like it. If you like the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and we will be back with some more videos soon. Thanks for watching. Be safe.